All right, we are live.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are bringing you our joyous sharing. And if you're not here on Thursday morning, we're glad you're here anyway. Be sure and hit the like and subscribe. This is Peg Robinson and Shell C. And good morning, Shell.
Good morning. I think I'm ready for some collage today. I've got a pile of things. I've got stamped tissue paper. I have painted papers. I have some napkins. I've got stuff. I don't know what I'm doing, but I've got stuff.
Yeah, me too. I got stuff. I, I went and pulled some papers out. I thought I'd just kind of, the point of the or something. And, if we're heading the wrong direction, we apologize because so sorry. Sorry in advance. So we kind of took it our own direction. I have tissue paper that I've stamped. Shell has tissue paper that she's stamped.
Yes, I stamped it this morning. The stamping that I did, it looks like that our thing is going on voice. I need to select. Sorry if it's flashing back and forth. I wasn't sure what I was doing, so I just stamped some different things. I didn't have any stamped tissue paper, so I just kind of stamped some stuff, patterns. I like patterns, random patterns and geometric shapes and things like that that make backgrounds more than I like individual things. But I did stamp some flowers and things like that, leaves, in case I wanted to use those. So I have those to the side. And then I also pulled out some napkins that had flowers and butterflies and things like that. So I thought maybe I'd do something with butterflies. I don't know. And then I pulled out a bunch of papers that had the colors of blues and greens and turquoise and a little bit of yellow. I think that's a good place to start when you're collaging, is to pick a color scheme, like pick 3 colors that you think you want to go with your collage, because if you put too many different disparate colors on your collage, then it starts to look crazy. So just for unification and balance purposes, it's a good idea to start with an idea of what kind of colors you want. So I picked the blues and greens for, and then maybe I'm thinking a butterfly theme. I am so over winter. I don't know about
Yeah,
you
me
guys.
too. I am.
And I don't really have it. You know what I'm saying? I don't. There's no snow here.
Yeah,
Yeah, look out. It's pretty sunny,
yeah.
but it's still.
So I
I
want to
don't know.
say,
The dark. Yeah.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
say good morning to everybody. We're having people
Oh yeah.
join us now. Fia and Ian and Edwidge and Elaine and Laura and Dorothy and SJ are all here with us along with Peggy. So hello, folks. Glad you're here. Glad you could make it.
And Frana and Candy and Belinda and Dorothy also.
Oh,
Those
I
must have
missed
been
them.
up above.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
I don't know if
Didn't
you got
mean
Laura or
to.
not.
Yeah, I think I did, but that's okay.
Yeah, the place
We'll
is
hit them
filling
all.
up.
We'll hit them all.
Place is filling
So it's funny you
up.
said butterfly, because what am I sitting here cutting out? Butterflies.
Butterflies. Well, hey,
You
butterflies
must
are a good spring thing.
must be into spring, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, those
No more winter.
30 below. Just don't cut
Yuck.
it, folks.
No, no, no.
I'm tired of it all. So where are you going to start, Shell? What are you going to start on today? What are you going to do
I'm
first?
going to start on a background just solely based on color. I'm going to layer some different colors on, and then I'm going to start with pattern as a second layer and start building up some interesting pattern and shape. And then after that, I'll start with trying to add some focal images. That's my plan. So right now, I'm
Cool.
just trying to pick out what I want to be in the background. I've got some heavier weight paper and some lighter paper. I pulled out these beautiful prints that I had for jelly prints but they are on a heavier paper, which means that I need a heavier glue. That's the other thing we need to talk about with collage is what type of glue you use.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. So I've got my matte gel medium out, and this is a thicker glue. And then I have the more fluid matte medium, which is more for the lighter weight papers. So I've got both of them out, and then I'm just trying to decide, what do I want to do? What do I want? I just don't know. I have too many options. Maybe I'll start with heavier paper in the background. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? These are so pretty. That's why they're still hoarded and not used. That's why I have all these prints that have not been used because they're too pretty.
Well, that happens.
You guys know what I'm talking about. I know you do because you do it too. It's not just me. So how are you going to begin yours?
Well, I have components out here to collage with. You can see I'm going towards shelf staples. I had this peony, so who knows, I might go an entirely different direction. I have these are handmade marbleized papers. These are things I did with alcohol ink, you know, so I may go more organic or I may go more geometric. I'm not sure. I just have a number of different things that I'll be working with. And, you know, these are papers that I've painted. And then, of course, I have stamped tissue paper because I stamped a bunch of butterflies. And so they will be probably worked in here somewhere. And one of the things that I had done, let me show you this piece. Where is it? I had a piece out here. Yeah, I had a piece out here. Famous last words.
Pieces out there.
So this is done by using some paper like this. This is just some, yeah, some of that. This is some magazine paper. And I like the colors in it, not necessarily the image. What I do then is I take this with a stencil and with sandpaper. So I'll grab a stack of stencils here. I think I like this one. So I'll take this like this and find my sandpaper. And over the top, and that changes that image so that it's not recognizable anymore, but it becomes, then you sand right through it, which is okay too. A little heavy-handed when I'm trying to demo. So all of that textural background. So I have some of that paper.
Have you ever altered magazine paper with stuff?
Yes.
Citrusol, yeah. See, yeah, I've never done it. But I sure see beautiful, beautiful papers. I just don't have any magazines. So I've never bought the citrus.
They are amazing, but Citrusol, it was kind of expensive to start with. So I got cheap and I got some of that orange whatever from the dollar store and tried altering it with that. Did not have excellent success, but I did have some success. And you want to do out of doors. Just saying. Smelly. You'll get a big head. And it's fun to get the papers, you know, to get the, what is it, Leonard Casmel. I was taking a jewelry class with her. And that was, I don't know how many, 30 years ago. Yeah, I've It's nothing new, folks. It's been out there for a long time. But if you have, because it does give some really interesting.
So I'm going to ask the audience, is anyone else having problems with Peg's sound going in and out? Because I am. But that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone is, because my laptop is being a jerk.
It says I'm freezing at points.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting too.
Okay, should I just take the headset off?
I don't know if it's the headset or if it's this. It could just be the speed of your internet, and it's not catching up with your voice or something. I don't know. So while she's messing with that, I've got some pieces on so far, and it's from this jelly print that is on like a lightweight card. And so I just tore it. I like the organic look of tearing, and I usually tear pretty much everything that I do on my collaging, with the exception sometimes I cut things out if it's a focal image. But other than that, I tend to tear. So I started with that piece because I thought it looked kind of like vines and leaves going up. And since I'm going to do probably a butterfly at the end, I thought a butterfly would be in a garden. So I'm kind of picking things that are that. And I think this is going to be my next one, which is got some silhouettes of leaves over some other layers on it. I think from somebody. It even looks like it because it's folded in half, and I wouldn't have ever folded it. So I think it was probably a gift of some sort from someone that I can no longer remember where it came from because I've been hoarding it for too long. My substrate is a piece of board that I bought at Walmart, and it has a little drill hole on the back. So I was thinking that I probably needed to try to remember to keep the drill hole upwards because otherwise it's going to be upside down, which I just tore this paper in the opposite direction of what I wanted. So I'm trying to be cognizant of that as I go along. And then I'm also trying to bend my pages around the edges, with which this heavier paper, it takes a lot longer to do that. You have to really fuss with it to get it to bend. And I'm also using heavy glue, and I'm putting it both on the back of the piece of paper and the board, and then smoothing all the bubbles out to make sure that I get a good sticky adhesion going on there. It just kind of depends. You learn as you go with collage what works and what doesn't. You don't necessarily always have to do, some people will say, oh, well, you always need to put it on the front and the back of the paper. That's not true. Sometimes you can just put it on the paper. It depends on the porosity of the paper, the weight of the paper, and as to how well it's going to stick and what glue you need to use. And these are things that come from experience. And since I've been doing collage for a long time, and it's something that I enjoy a lot, I've had quite a bit of experience. So that's the reason I'm always talking about it and talking about the different things that you need to do to get things to stick and not have bubbles. The hardest is probably napkins. I have the terrible time with napkins, not getting bubbles in them. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
One product I found for napkins. Can you hear me okay, Shell?
Yep, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I changed out my microphone.
Okay.
Is this decoupage for napkin from Americana?
And it really makes a difference.
It's made specifically for those lightweight applications.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, you just know not to put any pressure you know, you don't want to tear your piece, but yeah, it works.
Cool. I'll have to get some of that. I always wonder if it's just, you know, if it really is going to be good for napkins or if they're just making it up as they go, you know.
Well, I tried it out and I like it, but I mean, you know, everybody has their own opinion about stuff, but you know, I was having the same issues with napkins tearing and all of that, and I find this stuff to work much better. So just my humble opinion.
All right. Your opinion is valuable. You've actually used it, so.
So I'm trying to get my cords out of the way.
Oh, you're still working on cords. Okay. So it looks like your substrate is going to be a art journal page. Is that correct?
It is an art journal page, and I'm getting out some gesso, and now I need to redo my hand. Oh dear, what's everybody saying?
That's a good question. I haven't looked at the chat. I've been so
trying
busy
to see
gluing.
if the sound had improved. Vicky's here, Laura's here, Barb's here. Yay. Cindy, hi. Everybody's coming in. So glad to see everyone. It's flying by. Everybody's chatting. That's great.
Good. Chat among yourselves when we forget to chat with you.
So I'm going to use some alcohol ink just for something different. And maybe some embossing powders. I don't know. You know, you got this stuff. You need to have a reason to use it, right?
Yep, definitely. I'm telling you, I'm going to hunt down those embossing powders at Creativation. those new ones from South Africa. I'm going to hunt them down.
So I kind of sprayed out some of my colors on a piece of paper. These are those alcohol ink sprays that I had made a while back. And I have ultramarine, sailboat blue, forget-me-not that I want to use. Aquamarine's pretty light. I want violet. And maybe a brown, which would be potting soil. Potting soil. So if you guys don't know about this, what you do is you fill most of your bottle with alcohol and then add however much of the archival ink reinkers in here and make these sprays. And they work and they're good. And the thing I like about them is they're permanent then on your page, so you can keep working over them. So get those out.
That's always the best thing. You can find something that you can work in layers. For those of us who like mixed media, that's what we need. Things that don't run or get, you know, messed up if you put something over the top.
Kathleen Clark has joined us. Dorothy says yes, she's in the UK. Barb says those are pretty, Peg. Oh, they're just... I think they can get busy here.
Less talk, more action.
Yeah. So I see you're getting your paper on already.
Yeah, what have you been doing all my life?
Let's see. We're 20 minutes in, and I've been playing with equipment. Yeah. Not the way to start the day.
That is how it goes, though.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got this much of my papers on so far, and I'm moving to a third paper now. I'm not sure what yet.
Just getting some gesso down because I want to have the background with some gesso before I put my sprays on.
This one might be good.
I mean, you could do it without, because this is some of that. I'm actually working in one of those journals that has that better cardstock. I think this is a Diane Reevely, not Dina, Diane Reevely journal, which has good cardstock to start with, but I want to be able to move it. I don't want it necessarily to soak right in. So that's why I'm putting the gesso down so that I can move things a bit. Because it'll still be wet.
Plan.
And I'm just slapping it down.
I did gesso also. I gessoed my wood, but obviously wood is so darn absorbent, you've got to gesso it.
Oh, yeah. Very porous.
Have nothing left. It would soak all in. All your glue and everything would soak right in.
So you all set to take off for your fun?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
I haven't packed or anything. I want to make some more ATCs today so that I can take those and pass them out as business cards. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to wear. I don't know. No, I'm not ready. But
clothes. You can wear clothes.
You know how I was telling you?
Painty.
Yes. But since I'm working for Canvas Corp brands, they have like kind of a dress code.
Oh. Well.
Or at least they did last year.
I buy you something.
So I might have to go clothes shopping. It might be a good excuse to go clothes shopping.
Yeah.
But yes, the idea is that we are going to be getting, working on stuff in the booth, and we could get painty.
Yeah.
They are giving us aprons, canvas aprons.
That's nice.
But
you can paint your apron.
Some people that we know will be there. Like Bea Grob. She's going, and she's going to be in my booth.
Good.
She came to a Zoom with us. Remember?
Yes.
We need to set that up in the channel. I mean, in the group again.
Oh, you just need to pick a day.
Why do I have to pick? You pick.
Well, I can pick any old day. I need something that works for you.
Well,
you guys
speaking of day,
what is a good day? What is a good day?
I don't really know. I'd have to look at my calendar, but we do have to tell them that next Thursday there will be no live stream.
Right.
Because Peg is going to be out of town.
I will be.
Unless I get brave and decide to do it by myself.
And she might have all kinds of stuff to tell you about, since she'll be going and seeing fun stuff.
Yeah. I guess we should switch back to you and see what you're doing.
I'm just playing in my inks.
Making an inky mess, huh?
Yeah. I am.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm going to have to figure out what's going to go on in this mess. So I think I'll set this aside to dry and start preparing some papers now that I have some color in the background.
Well, the colors that you put in the background probably are going to determine what you put in the foreground somewhat.
Yeah, but this is... I need to tear some papers. So let's see. Part of the problem here is we only have limited space.
Yeah, that is a problem I have as well. I have stuff spread all over the floor at this point.
Uh-huh. I think I might have to turn on... Let me get some of this down first.
Let's see what people are saying. Seems like they're just talking amongst themselves.
Yeah. Which is great. That's what a community is about. We love it.
Yep.
So you guys tell us what, if you want to talk to us, put things in caps so we know you're talking to us specifically. And then tell us, if you want to hang out with us live in a Zoom room. And if so, what days work the best for you so that we can kind of help accommodate if we can, when we can. Lost my ruler. That's bad.
It's probably under the paper.
Yeah, I guess I'll use that one. Yeah, there's a pile of paper here.
Yep. That's where it is, then you know that it's hidden under there somewhere.
Is that too loud?
It's not loud. Back over. So this is how far I've gotten. I just put a piece of deli paper on that has some spray on it, and I put it on the opposite side, like upside down, so that the spray wouldn't smear, because it is a Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, which is going to stay on there. So I can tell this is the front side and this is the back side. So I'm going to put the glue down, put the front side down on the glue. And then that way that seals in that mist, but I still get the pattern. If that makes sense. It probably makes sense some of the time.
They're asking about joining the Zoom. No, this Zoom is for our group. So if you're not part of the group, we probably won't be inviting outside people, just because we need to have a safe environment.
Yeah, and by a group, she means Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group.
Right.
So if you want to be in on Zooms, you should go over and ask to join that group. But when you ask to join that group, make sure that you answer the questions, because there are several people just sitting there waiting. We're waiting for them to answer the questions. So
yeah, we want to know who you are and why your reason for being there is. So
yeah, we want to make sure that we don't have people who are selling in the group or putting a lot of spam in the group, things like that. We want it there for people to share art. Venus. So just answer the questions if you go to ask to join the group. We're not kidding around.
okay, so I'm just putting this tissue down with that particular adhesive, and you can see how nicely it applied.
With the Deco Art one?
Mm-hmm. With
nice.
Yeah, this napkin finish. It works pretty
I guess
good.
I'm going to have to ask for some of that.
I like it anyway. Okay, I shouldn't have done a double page spread. I can tell you right now. There's no room on my desk.
Well, you know, if the computers and the technology would just work for once, we wouldn't spend so much time talking and fussing about that.
Yeah, I could have backed
I mean,
up
we were
now.
already in here an hour this morning working on everything, trying to make everything work. And even so, it's just nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah, it is.
So I think I'm going to mute and dry. So
Okay.
you talk. I'll mute.
Okay. I am just tearing paper at the moment. I'm just trying to get some collage pieces down. And I'm just tearing with a ruler. Nothing fancy. This is some painted tissue paper. I think probably a deli print. But it has nice textural stuff that I like. And I think that's going to go right there. So let's see, what are we saying? Thank you, Ian. Ian's putting the group link up for us. So that was very thoughtful of you. Let's see, I think I want to repeat this on the other side. So let me get a piece of that put over here. And yeah, so many people have been affected by this weather and this flu and all that kind of stuff. I hope you guys are all well. Are you all surviving this flu season? How have things been for you? Trying to read some of this chat. Hi, Paula.
All right. That's pretty dry now.
Very offended?
Because we won't invite her to the Zoom because
well, she is
you said
invited.
it was.
She is invited to our group. And if she chooses not to join, then that's her choice.
That's right. Everybody's invited.
Right. Right. We are not trying to exclude people. We're trying to make it a safe place. So
yep,
that's the point. And if you want to do it your way, then make your own group. That's my motto. And I'm sticking to it, right?
Yep. I need to be grown-ups now.
Right. Okay, so this is the part that takes a long time, getting all those papers down.
Yeah, it is. It's something that you will spend time on, but it's well worth it.
It is. It's one of those things where you get lost in what you're doing. That's why I like it so much. Because you can just spend all day gluing paper. Okay, so I have that piece of paper.
All right.
See how we work? We get really quiet when we work.
Yes. hard to. I'm like thinking about what I'm going to put on next. I can't talk while I'm doing that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's difficult. It is, because you've got multiple things going on, and oh, they're talking about the flu now. Oh, I feel so bad for people that have had that.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, it is.
The thing is that even if you got the flu shot, apparently that it wasn't effective because it was the wrong flu shot for this year, and the strain that came out was something else. And I should have gotten the flu shot, and then I hadn't done it, and then I got sick, still coughing.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, still coughing.
Bad stuff. Where do I want this? You get those heavier pieces that get right down in the crack. Those are hard to get to seal down.
Oh yes, if you're doing the double page, that's tricky.
Yeah.
So I'm doing some kind of, let's see if I can move this over here. Up. You get a right. I'm doing some kind of leafy background, not really distinct patterns, but just a little bit of something going on in the background here, which I'll probably really dumb down with some pattern in it, but just wanted something. This is 100% intuitive, not thinking about what it's going to look like in the end, just playing with it.
That's what's fun, is just enjoy it. Not everything turns out the way we anticipate it. I mean, I don't even have a concept for this other than I pulled papers, I pulled some colors out. I kind of think about what's going to go together, and that's where I begin from when I create a piece, is just let it flow, let it come out of you. I was doing something yesterday and I was not happy with it. The flow wasn't coming, and you just keep working with it until you get to where you're feeling a little more satisfied with what you've done. And, you might end up even coming back to it, much later and saying, okay, this is what I should have done, or, why didn't I? The nice thing about this paper is I can take my water brush and I can just hit the edge of the paper with that water brush and wet the tissue, and then it should tear away.
Yep. I just did that just as you were talking.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny because I was just getting out the water brush to do that.
Yeah. Okay, where are we? Sorry, I don't have my phone up today, so I'm trying to scroll back in the chat and see what I can see. Shell, every piece you lay down, I think I could stop there. Then you add something else. Amazing. You're amazing.
Oh, I'm not that amazing.
Something messed with my head a bit. Peg talking and Shell actually doing it. Yes, 2 peas in a pod.
It's pretty funny because I was just actually doing that, and then you said it right as I was doing it.
Yeah.
And it happened to be on my screen, so I'm sure that was crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So the other nice thing I like about tissue paper, collaging with that, is that you can put it over something. Like in this case, I put this stamped little tissue with leaves on it over this piece, and you can still see the pieces underneath. But yeah, you're adding another layer of pattern and interest. And of course, I am now using a fluid glue instead of the heavy glue. Same thing with napkins. Napkins are a tissue, and they will, you know, have something.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a bump right there. And the heavy paper, sometimes it buckles unexpectedly because it just got around to thinking that maybe it was wet 5 minutes later.
Right. And that's, you know, I put this tissue down a little while ago. It's been sitting there. So now I'm just coming back with some matte medium on top of it to seal it in. So I have a surface that other things will work across.
Yep.
Because otherwise that paper becomes absorbent.
It does. So you have to constantly be vigilant about going and making sure that your paper is still sealed down. Even after you know that you sealed it super, super well, and you did a super job of scraping out the bubbles, and you did so well, and then 5 minutes later, it's changed its mind.
Mm-hmm.
Without your permission or knowledge.
That's right.
That I am now saturated, and I'm going to have to buckle. This stamp is one of my favorites. It's from Stampin' Up. So pretty.
What is it?
It's it has 3 kind of branchy leaf type things on it, and you can make a nice random background with it. And I stamped it with archival ink in leaf green.
Oh, wait, we have an important question. Jackie wants to know if we sell our work. Yes, Jackie, we do.
Yes, we. I don't have an established store, however, so you have to just ask me about it, and I will tell you.
Yeah.
Everything is for sale. Well, almost everything. Sometimes the stuff you see on my channel I'm making as gifts or as commissions.
Right.
You know, they've already been commissioned, so they belong to someone else. And I just film that stuff because that gives me extra stuff to put on my channel.
Okay,
Double duty.
so here I'm making a decision. I put these big butterflies on. I've decided they don't work, so they're coming off.
Makes sense.
So
all right.
That's where you can edit. Oh, let's see. What else do we have? I really liked this piece, but it just isn't working in here. Maybe if I did it under a focal point. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes you just don't have it all figured out.
Most of the time. In my case, anyway. Talking with a brush in my mouth.
I heard that. You were doing a little bit of underwater diving there.
Yes.
Okay. So just one more little piece. And then I think I need to add some paint.
Are we doing well on time? I haven't even looked.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Good, good.
Okay, I'm going to have to dry.
Okay. That means I have to talk. So now I'm putting on a different image. It's just like freely stamped onto tissue paper. This morning, I'm using the lightweight glue, which absorbs all the way through paper. So you don't really have to put it on the back and the front. And I'm getting this pretty well filled up with colors now. Probably time to start thinking about what I need to put on there as far as some sort of, I don't know, something. I don't know if I need to start thinking about my focal image. If I want a butterfly, I want to put some more pattern in. I might go ahead and add some black in a few places. I have this one, which I just stamped with a lot of different patterns, and I might try to incorporate some of that in a few places for depth. Maybe. Not sure which. I don't know. Maybe it's no light one. Maybe. So all you can do is just hold them up to it and then decide if it's something that appeals to you or not. And then put it on there or not. I think I like this Harlequin one. I'm not putting a whole bunch, just a little bit here and there. Just to bring up some depth. Generally, you should work from your lightest to your darkest. But in my case, I kind of worked a 3-color scheme, and then now I'm adding in some dark. And then I may end up going and adding some light at some point, somewhere. Maybe. This is kind of the equivalent of adding some stenciling. Only it's collage.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I was on mute. Did you hear all that?
Yeah, I did, but I talked all the way through it.
I'm sorry, you should have said something. Tell me,
well,
mute!
You wouldn't have heard me.
Yeah, I
wouldn't have heard
you.
me. It's loud. It was too loud. So.
Sorry. Okay.
It's not a problem.
So now I think I want to use some stencils. I think.
I'm stenciling with collage.
Get rid of the papers. I'm done with that. I need a sponge. And some paint. Thank you, Ian. Ian's putting up information for the group. You're so good.
Oh. That's good moderation right there.
Yes. Okay, so I think I've got this Jane Davenport. Didn't have a color name on it, but it's right there where I want it. So I think I'll use that.
If I wanted to see Jane, she's going to be at a Michael's store in Phoenix today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's having a Jane flash mob,
Release.
she said.
Oh, yeah.
On Instagram. I could drive up there, but I'm kind of busy.
Yeah. I think you might want to pack first. Yeah.
Well, I would drive up and then just come back because I don't have a hotel. It's only a 2-hour drive, but I am going to stay in a hotel. I don't want to drive back and forth at night. So. Oh, it's a little light right there.
Oops, that wasn't quite dry. Whoops.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to dry here in a second. Just put
My
one more
stencil
little.
stuck to the page. And I will tell you right now, the Davenport paints are separating, and they're not a year old, I don't think.
It's interesting that we're both doing blue. That was not planned, people. It was not planned for us to all be doing blue today.
Must be my mood today.
I'm so blue.
Well, it's been a weird week. I'll show you guys what I made yesterday. If I can find it. I was playing with collage in my journal. And I guess it's going to come up or not. There we go. This is what I did. Kind of liked the, it's winter here. I liked the blue green, the muted color, the that feeling, earthiness feeling, and these almost look figural to me. And I thought, well, okay, not where I usually go, but let's play with that a while. Well, I'm using the blues and purples today instead of the blues and greens, because I don't know, that's where I am, right?
Purple, purple, purple.
It must have been. I was thinking, Belle, she's the one that did.
Purple. All right, I'm going to mute and dry again.
Okay. I like those leaves, though, Shell. Those are cool. Very cool. I'm just starting to look up and see what's going on. I do like the stencil Peg is using. Oh, Pat, that's let's see. Oh, well, of course you do. That's a Gwen Loeffler stencil from Stencil Girl. Gwen is a wonderful artist. If you guys don't know about her, go out and check her out. She has beautiful, beautiful work. She visits the Far East often and comes up with wonderful designs. And I invite you to tell her I sent you, because Gwen is great. And what I'm doing with the stencil is tying these pieces in. You know, right now they're just kind of floating out here on the page. And I want to bring these things together somewhat. So I'm using the stenciling to soften those edges and tie things together. Oh yeah, it does kind of remind it to me. It was somebody embracing, you know, I don't know, the baby, child, mom, but yeah, Peggy, that's kind of what I was feeling about it. It's just one of those intuitive drawing things where you just kind of, you know, you've all seen those things on Pinterest where you play with the kids and you have them just draw on their page and then make something out of it. That's kind of what I was doing, was that sort of thing. Okay, so what else do I want to do here? Let's go to a light now. I used a darker blue. Let's go to a lighter color.
Everyone's saying that they like that stencil. I find it interesting that it's kind of the opposite of the tissue that you used.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it goes really well together.
Well, when I was pulling out stencils to use today, that's what I do when I pull things, is I think about what the composition is going to be, whether it's angular, whether it's more organic and flowy. And so the stencils that I picked up, you know, are more along this line, because that was my intent, the direction I wanted to work today. And now that I say that, I'm picking up a stencil. I'm not sure if that's the one I want to use. I might go with this one. Yeah, I think I might go with that one. So let's see.
So I think that my focal image is going to be this butterfly. And where these butterflies are from, these are the cutout ones I have, but then I have a whole bunch more. I knew that I was going to be doing a butterfly project for my mother, who's really into butterflies, for a present. And so I bought a poster on Amazon that had, with all their Latin and English categories and, you know, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this is poster, and this is a Western tiger swallowtail, and it's a shiny paper. And I know that shiny paper is a problem for sticking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an emery board and I'm going to just scratch off the shininess on the back of the paper to give it a little bit of tooth so that it will not slide all around in the glue and become a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do it with sandpaper or an emery board, or this is actually one Peg sent me. Works great though. You could do it on the front too, but I don't need this to scratch the front because I'm going to put matte medium over it. And so it will be already matte. So I'm going to put that right about here, around somewhere around this black, to help it kind of blend in. And then I've got some other things on this stamped tissue paper that I'm going to put on here as well. So I need to cut them out with my water brush. I'm going to get one of these butterflies that hasn't been colored. It's just black and white. And he's going to go on there somewhere. Two of those, but I haven't decided yet. And I want some of these. I want to build up kind of a little bit of flowers, I think. So I might use maybe one of these. And then one of these. Two of these probably. To build up kind of a little, some sort of a floral situation. Not sure exactly what yet, but I'm going to cut them out and lay them out and figure out what I'm going to do. So that's my plan.
Well, that's good. You have a plan.
Somewhat, yes.
I wish I had one. I'm just still playing. Just still playing. This is that, what do you call it? Jane Dad. Yeah, they don't have a name on these things. Looks kind of fleshy anyway, but to me, it's kind of like a buff. Peachy buff.
Mm-hmm. Peachy buff. That's a new color. Peachy buff.
Well, and I wanted more of the brownish tones in here too, not just the purple and the blue. So that's why I grabbed this. And now I don't even know where I'm going, so I should be watching what I'm doing, huh?
Well, it usually helps.
Yeah. Yeah. Get to talking and don't pay any attention. Duh.
Some of you might wonder, as you're watching us do this, so why bother doing collage with stamped tissue when you can stamp? Is anybody wondering that?
I'll raise your hand at once.
I kind of wonder it a little bit. That reason, of course, would be that you may be doing textural or dimensional as your substrate, like in the case of the art journal page that Peg is doing. It would be difficult to stamp in that situation. She would have a hard time.
Yes, it would.
So it's great to have some stamped tissue paper, or just some blank tissue paper that you can stamp when you're collaging. Just laying around, waiting for you.
Just waiting.
Because it really is helpful. In the case of my piece, it's pretty flat, and I probably could stamp on it if I wanted to. But I didn't, I guess. Didn't want to, I guess.
Yeah, well, if you look at the back side of this page, do you see what's there? It's like I've got all this dimensional stuff. Am I going to stamp over the top of that? Absolutely not.
No, that
just isn't going to happen. And it's, you know, sometimes it's even hard enough just to do simple things like this stenciling and get it to perform the way you're expecting it to. Okay, so
it looks like Pam has come in, and Pat says that that's such a pretty butterfly. And Elaine says, great tip. Peggy answered, texture. That's right. She didn't wonder. She knew it's because of texture.
right. Okay, so I think I'm done. With that. I'm gonna, now I have my butterflies wherever they are. I need to find them. I'm thinking I might end up using that. No, it doesn't work. I was thinking about a focal, but that's not working for me. So what did I do with the butterflies?
It's kind of interesting. I stamped these pieces, these black pieces that I'm putting on, in Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and it's actually pinking out a little bit.
Oh.
You know, like those markers do.
Yeah.
It's doing that strangely.
Okay.
I'm getting pink in my background. So now I'm going to have to work that in. It's not much though, but I didn't expect that. I was surprised. I don't know where Peg went, so you can watch me.
Here. Can you hear me?
I hear you, but you sound like you're far away, like you're across the room or something.
But I'm on a headset. What the heck?
Apparently your headset doesn't feel like being very headsety.
Oh, yeah. Because I had to get off of the headset microphone, remember? Because it wasn't working.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I'm looking for butterflies. Lost them.
Here, butterfly. Here, butterfly, butterfly.
Come back to me.
Okay. How do I feel about that? I think I feel okay about that.
I think they went with Mary's black shoe. They went off on a trip together. Oh, right there in front of me.
If they were a snake, they would have bit you?
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to have to do some of that muting, I think.
Okay, all right. And that might have been why my mute didn't work, because I forgot I was on the other microphone. I tell you, some days. Okay, I'm liking those. So I think I will get my water brush. These are, I think they're penny black butterflies that I stamped out on tissue and embossed in gold. Because I'm also liking a lot of bling these days. Don't ask me why. Gold has just been a thing. So oops, don't tear the butterfly pig. Just trying to get most of the tissue out of the way here. And I'm doing it in kind of a hurry. I need to slow down and do it properly. And look at the chat, maybe. Okay. I mostly want to, you know, get rid of these corner things because I don't want those sticking out. And then I'll go back to that probably need to take a piece of this excess tissue and clean up that paint before I stick my arm in it.
You think?
Yeah, because I was just looking at that saying, oh, I know where that's going to end up.
Okay. I think I am ready to do finishing touches. We have about 20 minutes, so that's going to be about the right amount of time to finish up. I think I'm getting out my Pit pens. That's the India ink ones that are permanent when dry, and they're made by Faber-Castell. I have this set, and this is what I'm going to use for finishing, and then maybe a little bit of white Posca. Got that somewhere here. Oh, and a little bit of black too. Oh, I'm going to need my illustration pens too, because I need to, some of the stems on my flowers are not long enough, so I need to stem up my flowers a little bit. And then I'm going to add some color, and then I'm going to add in some white. I'm going to add some shadows around this butterfly. I think that's pretty much my plan.
Cool. And I'm just going to put these butterfly down in a row, kind of line them up like those ones that are specimens.
Mm-hmm.
You see those ones that are in glass encased. It was funny you said butterflies for your mom, because my mother was a butterfly collector. And, you know, so we had butterflies that she had collected and moths and things.
Interesting.
So is your mother very interested in butterflies?
She just, well, she was a teacher, and she hatched monarch butterflies in her classroom.
Oh, fun.
And so it just kind of became a thing where, like, if it's often something to do with butterfly, whether it's earrings or, you know, like even the bench on her front porch before she moved in with us over at her house is a butterfly bench.
Okay. Cool.
She just really likes them. She likes the concept of, and, you know, how unique they are.
I like the fact that they change, that their life cycle is so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they, you know, are these little larvae and pupa and, you know, become these beautiful winged things.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly how she feels about it. Kind of like my grandma, she got this obsession with cows, with particularly black and white Holsteins.
Oh, yeah?
And so everyone started to give her things that were to do with cows.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know, people collect things, like somebody might collect hippopotamuses or whatever. And she started having all kinds in her house.
Yeah.
At one point, I even put up cow wallpaper.
Oh, no. How now, brown cow?
So I drew in the black lines where I felt they were needed. And then now I'm going to start in with a little bit of coloring, and I'm going to do multicolor coloring, of course, starting with kind of a medium tone here on these little blue lupine flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put a little bit of purple in them, of course, because it's purple.
Of course, because it's purple and it's shell.
I actually went and had my hair done yesterday.
Bye,
Had my
Elaine.
purple repurpled. Had my purple repurpled.
Thanks, Barb. I like the purple and the gold. Duh. What am I trying to say here? Where am I going with this now? I gotta start thinking what I'm doing. Need to dry that, but I don't want to melt my embossing powder. So the next thing is I want a little gold splatter. See if I can get, kind of like the little gold bugs. I might.
Sounds like a plan. I hear the garbage truck. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I think it's loud.
We got ours out yesterday, so we're good. Okay. That needs to dry for sure, because that will make a mess.
What color shall I make this butterfly? Oh, she's muted. So I've added in some color here, and I'm going to probably color this one over here with yellow to bring in some of that yellow from the butterfly. And then a little bit darker yellow. And even darker. What is anybody saying? Nikki says, love your work, ladies. Laura says, transformation is awesome. Looks like Pat had to go, but she loved our pieces. So bye. She's probably already gone. And they're talking about weather, nasty weather.
Stormy weather.
Stormy weather.
Okay, so I've got a cool gray. I don't know if that's dark enough. I might need to go for my other one. Try this first. I just want to bring those butterfly off the page a little bit. And that is not very dark. Let me grab this one. The other thing I could do is just use some graphite.
That's a good idea.
I have the nice Lyra graphite. See what that does to it. It doesn't want to move. This is really great, like if you've got something embossed and you want to rub over the top of it. I did this. Remember that page I was showing you guys earlier? That's part of the grunge to this page, is that I took the graphite pencil down here where I had done a little graffiti kind of stuff, and I had just taken this and rubbed it over the top to get this. It's almost like metallic. It looks like a silver metallic on there. You can't pick it up real well in here. Yeah, but that's what this does. So it's fun.
Is it working?
Oh, not the the graphite. No, because I wanted the. I could try it on the gold, but I like the gold. So I think I'm just going to leave the gold on this page. But on that other one, because it had gotten dark and I wanted those images to stand out where I had done this graffiti. And I thought, well, what can I use? And I grabbed the graphite, and that worked pretty darn well. I liked it. But I'm just, for this, I'm just using the Pitt pens. I have two different colors. I have a darker gray, which is cold gray number 4, and then this one is cold gray number 1. Because there are warm grays and there are cold grays, in case you guys didn't know.
I think I am going to use, which one is this one? Warm Gray 3 to do shadowing around my butterflies. I think that's what I'm going to use. No, I might need a little bit darker. How about this one is Cold Gray 3. That's better.
Well, I'm thinking
it helps when you're.
The butterflies on my page are not standing out as much as I would like. So I'm going to enhance them with circles.
Circles are nice.
If I can find the right size. That one's a bit small. Small. Have to find the right lid, you know.
Never an easy task.
I have a Smucker's peanut butter. That might work. Let me see just how big that is. Or I might just use my finger if all else fails, right?
Fingers are very useful.
Let's see where this goes. big. All right. Just go in there.
Sorry, guys, I had to answer that phone call. So.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I was on mute because my husband came down to the basement, so they finally had a long pause. Michelle, when will you, wait a minute, I missed something. I can't scroll. Somebody was asking you a question. Maybe they can ask it again.
They're asking me to...
Hi, Susan.
Oh, they were... I'm not sure what the question is. I don't see it either. They were freaking out because I thought the sound went out. Muted at the same time.
Well, he's getting anxious because I asked him to stay off of devices because we were having issues this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, our
and their toys.
dog is having surgery today, and that was the vet. So.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I had to answer.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's got cancer.
Oh no.
So that's really
the little one that came to live with you?
Yeah, he has a mass on his jaw, and we were, trying to find out, gave him some antibiotics, trying to find out what it is. They thought maybe it was like an abscess tooth or something, but the antibiotics didn't take it away. So he's under anesthesia, and they were calling to say that it is an extensive mass. So they're going to take some tissue out and try to determine what it is.
Uh-huh.
But if they had to clear out that area, it would be taking part of his jaw off. So
True.
what do you
Yeah,
do?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so now, yeah,
That's
that
very
is
sad.
bad news. Very bad news.
I think
I
I'm
don't
just
like
about
any
done with mine.
animals suffering. I've got one
Yeah,
more coat
I'm
I
just
want
going
to
to
put
add
on
some
here.
white highlights and then I'm going to be done. So
I have Ultra Matte Varnish and quinacridone gold here that I've mixed together that I'm going to use as my seal coat.
nice.
Just a little bits out here. This will tie things together. And I'll just get a little bit of that on my baby wipe and rub that in. Well, that's, nobody needs that kind of stress in their life or having to deal with poor critters that are suffering.
Yeah.
Have you had him long?
We've had him for a long time. It's my mom's, and ultimately, it's my kid's dog.
Yeah. Oh boy.
The other one is already. There was two, and the other one has already passed on.
Yeah, our little Marley, who is my grandchild. I'll be going to see him before the end of the month, and he's getting to be an old man, so I worry about him.
Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, if it's so bad that it can't be fixed, and then your only option is to put him to sleep, and I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't need that.
Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, and
if
then
you're
I'm gonna let
putting a
it
finishing coat on, you must almost be done, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Done?
I'm just, at the drying stage. There's some things I'd like to do. Actually, I could still rub a little. Let's see. I've got. See if I can put some of this in behind here and lighten this. This is where you take chances. You don't know what it's going to do.
Scary. I'm just adding some splatter with my pen, and I think I'm done. I'm going to sign it and be done because it's already 10:34. So
right,
it's probably time to be over.
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah, I need to be over.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Well, we can end anytime, Shell.
I'm just going to show them the finished piece here. So here it is, finished. And this is on a cradled wood panel with a hanger on the back. So it is for sale. If somebody wants to buy it, you can just contact me on Messenger or my email.
Right.
And that is done.
Well, and mine's
there'll be pictures on in the group and everything. And is yours done? Almost?
Almost. the whole butterfly thing is still up in the air, but let's see.
It's still up in the air. Okay.
Well, yes, because I want to highlight these butterfly, but they're,
Yes, but you realize you just said that the butterflies were in the air.
yeah, yes, I do realize I said that, but because I can't do all of that right now. Gonna finish it later because you need to go, and this is kind of a wrap. They kind of saw what we were doing, and we appreciate you having been here with us. Thumbs up, and remember, we won't be here next week, but the following week we will. If you have suggestions for us, put them in the comments, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And if I get so excited that I have to share some stuff with you from the show, I will do the live stream by myself because Peg will be out of town. And if that happens, I'll set up the event and you'll get a notification. But
okay,
I don't know if that's going to happen.
You never know. I might join from my travels.
You might. Yeah, she might be on the
road. I might have to come and see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the kind things that you're saying about my situation, guys. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.